Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed this is a live news show for movie fans where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including a bunch of sequel stuff, Bad Boys 4, Venom 3, The Accountant 2. That's the one that I'm looking forward to. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire has some new images. It's Tuesday, but we're going to talk about the weekend's box office. But we start off today by talking about Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 week, guys. It has arrived. And we've got multiple stories, so we're not going to do a formal review for it just yet. Maybe tomorrow we'll do that. Everybody's putting out the reviews now, so it's just kind of like, yeah, you got my straight out of the theater reaction for Dune Part 2. It's up on the channel right now. There is a lot that I have to say about it, for sure. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's the best movie of the year. But Dune director Denis Villeneuve calls out for more 3-hour movies. He's not interested in dialogue. What? Not interested in dialogue. Now, I'm just trying to think back here. No, yeah, Dune Part 2 had lots of dialogue. I don't know what the heck he's talking about. So let's try to get some context here. Now, I'm not in the camp of needing 3-hour movies. I'm in the camp of we need more 90-minute movies, because if you can't unfold your story in 90 minutes, like the extra time there is just kind of like, for what? For what? What are you adding in, right? What are you leaving in that can't be cut? So when it's like, well, Dune is like 2 hours and 49 minutes or something, Dune Part 2. But it goes by fast. And if it's a good 3-hour movie, then it's no big deal, right? Like Dune Part 2, it didn't feel like 3 hours. Avatar 2 didn't feel like 3 hours. Killers of the Flower Moon felt like 3.5 hours. So it all depends on who's handling the material, right? Did you just take a swing at Martin Scorsese, James? Oh, yes, I did. So let's see what he said here. In an interview with The Times, then he said this, quote, "It is a 3-hour rated R movie about nuclear physics." Oh no, this is Nolan talking about his movie Oppenheimer. What? Why are you putting this first? But the public was young. That the movie was movie of the year for my kids. There's a trend, because he's still talking about Oppenheimer, but I'm waiting for this quote here. But Villeneuve doesn't exactly want to be inspired by Oppenheimer, at least when it comes to dialogue, suggesting it can spoil a movie. "I don't remember movies because of a good line. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people do. Get to the chopper! Yeah, everybody. I'll be back. I remember movies because of a strong image. I'm not interested in dialogue at all." What? Pure image and sound. That is the power of cinema, but it is something not obvious when you watch movies today. Movies have been corrupted by television. Ooh, he's looking down his nose at television. But Denis, there's lots of good quality TV out there. You just got to sift through it, right? House of the Dragon is a perfect example. The Last of Us Season 1 was fantastic, right, guys? Andor, Star Wars Andor. So there's some good stuff out there. Yeah, you're going to get stuff out there like Echo or what didn't land last year? Secret Invasion. You're going to get stuff like that. You don't have to watch that stuff. That's what I do. That's what I said. Hey, I'm not watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm not watching Miss Marvel, but I went back and watched Miss Marvel, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I don't know why there's a crack there at the at TVs. Maybe he's just at TV series. Maybe it's just a crack at the process of the way that TV shows are made, with a lot of exposition dialogue. I'm going to go up that mountain, instead of just showing you walking up the mountain, right? They have to dumb it down for a wider audience. And that could be detrimental to, well, if you want to make it $1 billion, and I think Dune Part 2 has a chance. Because as I said, it's like Avatar, right? It's one of those movies where you see it on the big screen. You see the sound. Like yes, Denis is like Christopher Nolan. He understands the sound. He mixes it better than Christopher Nolan so that you can hear the dialogue. But guys, I saw this in the IMAX and the seats rumbled, man. And that's what you want to have, right? Like a pure theatrical experience where everybody's cheering, and people did in the movie. People laughed at the same time in the theater. And then when it was all said and done, people clapped. It was done. It was like, wow, that's why we go to the movies, right? To see like the spectacle. And when you get bogged down in cookie cutter kind of roadmaps of, hey, this worked before, so let's just copy and paste that formula onto ours. And that doesn't always work, because you're just going to eventually end up looking all the same. Dune Part 2 is one of those movies that will never look the same. Even like its predecessor of David Lynch's Dune, it doesn't look or feel the same. It's a telling of the same kind of story, but it's like it's done differently, and it is going to resonate with a lot of people, I think. 97% on the tomato meter as of Tuesday, and yeah, guys, the word of mouth. It's just, as I said, the seats rumble. And you know, within the first 3 minutes, I want to say, that you are watching a movie that's kind of like, this is different, man. There's something else going on here with the way that the visual effects look, people flying up mountains. It's just, it's just like, this is cool stuff, man. And yes, I like the romance there, but some people are kind of poo-pooing all over it, saying that Zendaya and Chalamet don't have chemistry, but I'll address that when we get into our more formal review. Dune Part 2 director reacts to Empire Strikes Back comparison from Christopher Nolan and critics. Well, if you don't know The Empire Strikes Back, my favorite movie of all time, it's my number one movie, guys. I know it inside and out. So what happens in that is that the Empire crushes the rebellion, gets Han Solo in carbonite, and cuts off Luke's hand. Is there anything like that in Dune Part 2? No, because the Empire gets crushed in Dune Part 2. The Emperor gets to be shown basically that he's not as strong and as powerful as he ought to be, which would, I think, will make some Dune purists upset with the way that Christopher Walken portrayed it. I had no problem with Christopher Walken as the Emperor. It's just kind of like, I didn't quite see the tactician up there kind of thing, right? It was more put on Florence Pugh's shoulders for that, but that's for the actual review. Let's just see here. Christopher Nolan said this about Dune Part 2. Quote, it's a comparison that I would never dare to do myself. I think it's a beautiful compliment because Empire Strikes Back is by far my favorite Star Wars movie. So it's like coming to Chris Nolan an incredible compliment. Oh, that's Denis Villeneuve talking about Christopher Nolan comparing it to The Empire Strikes Back. Only the fact that it's supposed to be like the middle one. We know that we are getting a Dune Part 3. Even if they haven't greenlit it yet, the story is left open. So I guess in that aspect, it is a little bit like Empire Strikes Back. Not all the way, but yeah. Yeah, I don't really see that. You see, Avengers Infinity Game was very much like The Empire Strikes Back, because Thanos won and left the team in ruins at the end. The good guys are not left totally in ruins at the end of this one. So it's kind of like, yeah. And that's not a spoiler if you know the book or if you've seen the Lynch version. You should know where this movie is going to end. You know what events should happen by the end of this, right? It's just watching it unfold. There were some weird pacing issues and stuff. Like I'll talk about that in my review. That'll be up in like the next day or so. So yeah, everybody's coming out with their. There's the Beast, Harkonnen, Dave Bautista's. Were they neutered a little bit? I wanted them to be a little bit more gross and fearsome. But I'll get into that with my review. Uh, Florence Pugh, it was awesome. I thought she did a great job. So, what else? Is that it for Dune Part 2 stuff? Oh, one little fun little thing as we're looking at the pictures and stuff. Um, there's Austin Butler with Sting. Two fade Rothas right there. Which one did I like better? Well, Sting wasn't given as much material, but I think he had more fun playing it. You, if you guys don't know, uh, Austin Butler didn't shave his head for this, and it looks like he did. The makeup is so good, it looks like he did shave his head for this. Uh, but he didn't. He was on the Graham Norton show recently, and he said that, yeah, that he was wearing a bald cap, which is kind of cool. Uh, didn't think that it would be exactly like that. I'm just trying to see if I can find a picture of him. There he is. Yeah, it's bald cap. And you wouldn't think about it because there's shots of it from behind and stuff that looks like, well, you could see like the veins and under. It's like, wow, well, that's some good makeup then. Because he was shooting the bike riders at the same time, right? That one with Tom Hardy that got pushed about motorcycle gangs. But he's fierce, man. Very fierce. Uh, and once he comes into the movie, which it does take a little bit of time for him to come into the movie. Uh, See, I kind of preferred it when he was laced throughout it. So I'm somebody who believes that he should have been in part one as well, like his introduction. But because it was split up into these two chunks, it's really supposed to be one big huge movie. And if it was filmed like that, they would have had some easier times, maybe shuffling some scenes around and stuff to fit stuff in. But anyway, I'll talk more about that in the actual review. Good stuff. Dune Part 2. We'll keep our eyes on this. Everybody's putting their spoiler reviews and everything out this week. I saw it at a fan event. It's going to be big this Thursday, guys. This Thursday. Let me just go to my theater listings and take a look at some seat previews for Thursday's show. So it's not quite full, but it's filling up there. This is in the AVX theater. Yes, guys, go see it in the AVX if you can, or go see it in IMAX. Go see it with the boosted sound, whichever theater, because you will appreciate it when you see it. Now, I'm sure it's going to play fine on the bigger screens as well that don't have like the enhanced sound or anything, but it's just kind of like, guys, don't cheat yourself on this one. This is Dune Part 2 is one that's worth spending that little bit of extra cheddar to get the full appreciation of that sound design. This is going to win for sound design no matter. I don't see how any other film is going to stand up to it. I really don't. It's just like, wow. Sound design is a big part of this movie. But there it is. All right, guys, I've been going on for that for a little too long. Chris Schober in the live chat says, "Hey James, I'm off work today, so I thought I'd come on here today. I think I'm watching some movies and went to see Argyle, and I'm thinking of watching Dune Part 2 next, James." Yeah, well, enjoy, Chris. I liked Argyle. Dune Part 2 is way better, obviously. And then when I publish my best movies of February, Dune Part 2 is not going to be on there. I'm not going to include it on February because everybody gets to see it March 1st kind of thing, right? So it's going to, March is going to be so packed because you got like Godzilla X Kong, Frozen Empire and stuff. Got to see. James, have you ever seen Stay Alive horror movie, 2006? Stay Alive. Do you like Taco John, James? Or any juice tacos in a bag with nacho cheese dips? I don't know. I don't know, man. All right. But anyway, that was cool seeing Sting and Austin Butler together. That's kind of fun, right? All right, guys. Before we get into the box office, I kind of want to set up here and do a review for Ordinary Angels. Let me just make sure that I got my... Because I saw this over the weekend. and it was good enough to be worth talking about. Um, it's one of those sleeper hits that it's going to fly under the radar, and it shouldn't because it's good. All right. Okay. Here we go. Put up the old movie review label, James. Hmm. Ordinary Angels stars Hilary Swank and Alan Richson, and it's actually a surprisingly good movie, guys. It came out last weekend. The IMDb synopsis reads, inspired by the incredible true story of a hairdresser who single-handedly rallies an entire community to help a widowed father save the life of his critically ill young daughter. Now, I saw the trailer for this and I was kind of intrigued. A lot of it had to do with Alan Richson. I haven't been watching Reacher, so I haven't really seen a lot of his work, and this was the first time that I got to see him um, act on screen, and he's good, man. He's got some dramatic chops, and you don't quite expect it from a big dude. And this is the guy who played Butch on Gotham. He plays a pastor. It was kind of fun seeing him, but I'll tell you this: Hilary Swank is a standout here. She's the woman that sees the story in the news and just tries to go out and help this family pay their hospital bills, right? Now, she's not without her own faults. She struggles with alcoholism and kind of stuff like that, holding down a job and stuff. So when she shows up, he's kind of like reluctant to take her help, but she's really going out of her way to help. And you're on board with it. And a lot of it has to do with Hilary Swank and Alan Richardson because of their performances. And it's kind of like they don't like each other for a bit. They like each other. They appreciate each other for a bit. And, he's trying to do it all on his own. He's trying to be a man and step up. And he's dealing with the loss of his wife. His kid is sick. They need a liver transplant. And you're like, you get on board with it. It's charming. It's one of those roller coaster movies where, yeah, it's going to tug at you here at times. But by the end of it, you're going to be kind of like, holy crap. This is a good movie. I'm really pleasantly surprised with what I'm seeing with Ordinary Angels. Is it really heavy on all of the religious stuff? No, it's not. I thought that perhaps it may be like, okay, here's the big praying scene. And it's not like that at all, guys. Of course, there's a funeral, so of course they're going to end up in church, and then there's a huge snowstorm towards the end, and the community comes around and rallies to help this family out, and it was a good experience for February. And in February, we've been kind of far in between good stuff. Like we've had Bob Marley, which was good. Ordinary Angels has been good, but Madame Web, Lisa Frankenstein, these other movies have not been good. So it's refreshing to finally see something like Ordinary Angels just come out and be kind of like, well, yeah, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. Is it better than Bob Marley? They're two different types of movies, and it's going to be hard for me to rank it when I do my February rankings here. But let's go and start filling in some numbers here on my review sheet. Acting, directing, and story out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score out of a possible 1 point. Guys, I'm going to give acting a full 2 points because, as I said, Hilary Swank and Alan Richardson are good. But the two daughters, the young daughters in this, also do very well. And it's just like there's multiple scenes where it's just like these smaller side characters show up. Like her son shows up, and it's kind of like, well, I don't want to talk to you, mother. I don't know which version of you I'm going to be talking to because she's got problems, right? And it's just all overall well done. The execution of the story is good. Now, it is a little bit drawn out towards the middle. Perhaps it has a few lulls that go on a little bit too long. And by lulls in the story, I mean that Okay, we're pausing here to either give some exposition or fill in some backstory for a character to set up something in the next scene. And sometimes it takes a little bit too long to get to that because it's kind of like, well, we kind of already know that, but it's kind of like okay because you're enjoying the rest of the movie, kind of thing, right? So there's a few minor things in there that shouldn't detract. Cinematography and score. Cinematography, I'm going to give a surprising full point here because uh, there's stuff during the snowstorm and stuff. It's just competently done, and the score was serviceable. What I mean by some of the cinematography here, guys, is that uh, it's cinematic. It's not all kind of like, okay, here are the three stage lighting kind of stuff and everything's perfectly lit. No, it's not like that all the time. Sometimes there's a little bit of grain to it, but it's all really well shot and very well composed, that I noticed. So based on that, guys, I think mostly a lot of people really enjoyed it. Let's go over the tomato meter. 82% by critics, 99% by the audience. So yeah, guys, if you have if you've seen Bob Marley last week, go out and see Ordinary Angels this week because it was a thumbs up in my book, 82%, and that's close to where I'm probably going to side with it. It's probably second, third favorite movie of the year so far for me. And it's not getting enough people talking about it, so I want to do my part by talking about it because it was good. Tribune News Service didn't like it. The characters' motivations don't gel, and no amount of swank moxie can make it work. Huh. Were we watching the same movie? Richard Roper liked it. I can't think of a single plot development that will surprise you, and sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's enough to sit back and settle in for a comfort viewing movie. Okay. Leonard Maltin liked it. Ordinary Angels is a true story, and a remarkable one at that. Living with our 2-year-old granddaughter has made me especially vulnerable to dreams about young children in peril. And it didn't take long for this one to open my tear ducts. Well, yeah, there's that too. Now, somebody's weird to complain, well, you're only crying because it's a small kid who's going through these problems. But there's this one scene where it's just the two kids. And they get the diagnosis down that she's not going to... Yeah, so it's kind of like that. See, even just thinking about that scene between the two kids was starting to get me a little bit teary-eyed there, guys. It's that good, and that's why I would recommend it. She gives her like a Christmas gift, so she can see what it is. It's just so well done. My God, I'm getting choked up here. But yeah, I thought it was a good film. So looking at the snapshot reviews, I think a lot of people just seem to be echoing that. Film Focus Online says, Ordinary Angels is equal parts inspiring and emotional, helmed by two incredible lead performances and telling an important story. For some, it'll be too saccharine to stomach, yet undeniably tugs on the heartstrings. Yes, it does. And you just saw that a little bit here with the way I was describing one of the scenes in the movie. Those little scenes are peppered throughout the movie, so it's just not that one. There's other things in here too. Every story arc seems to come around and have closure, so thumbs up for that. I would say that the watchability factor is pretty strong, and I hope that word of mouth gets out about this because it's worth seeing. So where would I rank watchability factor? Well, it's got a good premise. It's worth at least seeing once, but I would even go back and revisit this again. Is it good enough for me to own on Blu-ray for an 8.5? Not, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but let's just stick with that for right now. 8 out of 10 for Ordinary Angels, guys. Hilary Swank is good. Alan Ritchson, as I said, if you haven't seen him in Jack Reacher yet, and you want to see what kind of work he can do, God, my God, this guy's got some chops. He does. And he lets you see it. He lets you see it. It's kind of cool because it's kind of like he's got this big macho facade on it to begin with, but it's slowly, he starts to show his vulnerability, and a lot of it is done with just his eyes, surprisingly. It's just the look in his eyes. You can see that he's trying to be tough, but there's also panic and like doubt in there, and he was able to capture all of that, which is kudos, man. So my first big exposure to Alan Ritchson has been a really good one, guys. Ordinary Angels. Are you going to go and see it? Hey, you know that Doom Part 2 is coming out this week. My straight out of the theater reactions for that is up on the channel right now. If you are not interested in that and you're not interested in Bob Marley, go out and see Ordinary Angels. You won't regret it. It's just a great time at the movies. All right, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hey, if you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more reviews from me, my Madame Web is up on the reviews up on the channel. So it is for Lisa Frankenstein. Both, yeah, guys, we kind of know that those are stinkers. Trailer reactions for Godzilla X Kong, Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, Damsel. We're gonna be watching Damsel here pretty soon. Wicked trailer, Quiet Day Place One, Society of the Snow trailer reaction. And then, hey, if you don't know, we do movie news throughout the week where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. If you like movies, you like series, you like talking about all this kind of entertainment stuff, you're going to have lots of fun here, right here on Mirror Domains. All right. Now that is out of the way, we can talk about some weekend's box office. So where did Ordinary Angels land? Yeah. Where did it land? Well, let's go take a look at the weekend's box office report. So this is for the weekend of February 23rd to the 25th, 2024. The top 5 go. Number 1, Bob Marley. Number 2, Demon Slayer. Number 3, Ordinary Angels. There it is, right there, guys. And number 4 was Madame Web, and 5 was Migration. Drive-Away Dolls opens up in the 8th spot, 2.4 million in 2,200 theaters. I'm seeing Drive-Away Dolls later on today, guys. So pay attention for my straight out of the theater reaction for that one. Ethan Coen, right, directs a little bit of an offbeat comedy of like 2 teens on a road trip or something that get caught up with mobsters. I don't know. It's going to be kind of weird. Yeah, they kill Pedro Pascal and keep him in the trunk of the car or something. It's really weird. I'll be checking that one out. Yes, this Drive-Away Dolls. So I have to go to the Art House Theater to see this one, but I will go and see it because I do want to add this one into the resume for February. We've been kind of low from, I think I've only counted 5 movies for February that we've seen. March is going to be like 10 movies that we will see, which will be very busy because there's like 2 on Netflix. There's like Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown, and there's also Spaceman with Adam Sandler that we're going to watch together, guys. So pay attention for that. But let's get into the top 5. I actually thought for a second that I thought that Demon Slayer was going to have enough moxie to come in at number 1, but Bob Marley hanging in there with 13.5 million, and Demon Slayer behind it in the 2nd spot, 11.5. If you know, I think Bob Marley One Love was a really good movie. And just a really good entertaining time at the theater, guys. And it's well deserved. 71 million domestically, 49 internationally, 120 worldwide. So kudos. Good performances all around. Kingsley Benadir, Lashana Lynch. Whew, really good stuff. A really good, solid outing, I would say, for Bob Marley One Love. Now, it's going to get trounced. Everything is going to get shoved down one big spot here because Doom Part 2 is going to be like 150, I think, this coming weekend. Oof, yeah. So, Demon Slayer in the 2nd spot. I don't know anything about this anime, guys. I do not. It's going to have bigger international numbers, and it's going to be bigger from Japanese numbers, obviously, but I don't know anything about it. Ordinary Angels opening up in the 3rd spot with 6.5 million. This is the Hilary Swank Alan Ritchson picture about a hairdresser that tries to help this family pay their hospital bills because the mother has died, and Alan Ritchson is trying to take care of these 2 daughters. 6.5 domestically. It's a great movie, guys. It's a fun experience. I just reviewed it on the channel. 8 out of 10. Really good movie. And I hope that word of mouth is going to be enough to say, okay, we're going to go watch this movie. Because, yeah, Doom Part 2 is not going to be for everybody. It's going to be the big spectacle to see. But for other people out there who just want to go out and see, a decent picture, Ordinary Angels is it. And I'm happy about its 6.5. I don't think it would have, it's not going to, this is the type of movie where it's not going to have like a $40 million budget. It can't. Uh, I don't believe this is something where maybe I'm thinking 20 million budget. Budget 12 to 13 million. Yeah, so I overestimated. So that's not damage. That's good. That's about half of its production budget back, and it's going to be hopefully kind of like hanging in the top five for throughout March. That's what I would say, because people who have seen it are liking it, guys. 82% by critics, 99 by the audience. The audience likes it a lot more because it's just one of those feel good stories where you come out of the theater going, "That's a good movie." But it's also inspired me. It's inspired me to want to go out and help people out. So, kudos to Ordinary Angels. Madame Web falling down to the fourth spot. Migration hanging in there, the fifth spot. Madame Web, 77.4 million worldwide, and it's going to I don't even think it's going to be in the top five next week, guys. Yeah. Now, there are some people that have come around and said that, they didn't hate the movie. Well, like me, I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was all that great. I have no plans to ever revisit it. Even if it's streaming on Tubi, I won't watch it. Not even for some of the scenes with Sydney Sweeney. No. No, I just kind of like, it's come and gone, and we don't need to beat up that dead horse anymore, do we? Wonka hanging in there. Driveway Dolls. Beekeeper. Still hanging in there. Good for that. Les Miserables had a re-release. Stop motion. So a few good, interesting things. Just a quick little glance at the weekend's box office, guys, there. I always like to weigh in with my thoughts, my observations. Okay. Ghostbusters comes out this month, guys. This month, and I'm looking forward to it. Are you? Ghostbusters Frozen Empire images feature afterlife characters, the original cast, and a new villain. So is this slightly spoilery material? We know that Slimer is going to be back. From Total Film. Comes out March 22nd, guys. So 24 days from now. Let's take a look at some of these new images. Finn Wolfhard. What is that? Goo? Is that slime? Is this where you get slimed or something like that? Okay. I like this photo. I want to open this up in a new tab. I like this one. I know that some people out there, I don't understand this kind of knee-jerk reaction to, they call it member berries. So what? It's awesome to see these, at least these three back. You can't have Egon, so have Janine there as well. Thumbs up. The only person that we're missing is Rick Moranis. And you couldn't get him out for just one little cameo in this. It would be cool if they did, but, he's retired, sort of, so it's kind of like, okay. I like this image. I think this is cool. And it's cool that they all seem to be on the same page that they're happy to be doing this. Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, and even Bill Murray, who used to be like the biggest holdout forever touching anything Ghostbusters. He quietly put in these two movies where he's back. And it's kind of like, okay. Next. Oh, is this our villain? Our Mr. Freeze. Can we brighten that up a little bit, James? Just a touch. And we see in the trailers, he puts on his horns. It's kind of weird. I don't know how that's going to work, but it's menacing. I don't even know the name of this villain. But it is inspiring, isn't it? No? It's not inspiring? It's menacing? There's Billie Eilish for some reason. But no. Yeah. March 22nd, guys. Some new images from Frozen Empire. Cool. Talk about Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys 4 moves release date up to go toe to toe with the Crow reboot. Now, yes, last week we talked about the Crow reboot moving up to the summer because they were switching places with Ballerina. Ballerina got pushed an entire year. That's the John Wick spinoff with, uh, ah, what's her name? Oh my God. But anyway, Anna de Armas, right? Yeah. And now the Crow is going to take the spot of Ballerina, and it's going to go toe to toe with Bad Boys 4. Guys, I haven't heard a thing about Bad Boy 4 productions. I haven't been looking for it. Well, if it's been on these pages, if it's been on the big trades, I would have known about it. It just hasn't been, and we haven't. I haven't even gotten rumblings of like of production being done, or like I guess it is if it's going to be coming out in the summer here. Same weekend as the Crow reboot. I'm watching the Crow first, guys. I'm sorry, I just prefer that property with Bill Skarsgård, and I want to see if they can capture that magic that they had with the first one. But I did like Bad Boys 3. I really did. I thought it had a lot more heart to it than it should have had. It'll be the return of Will Smith coming off the bench, right? So, Anna de Armas will be going on extensive reshoots, which will push the release date from 2024 to 2025, a whole year. Star Ian McShane said about Ballerina, quote, their new shooting for Ballerina. You know, it's just like you've got to protect the franchise. Yeah, a very damning kind of quote there, saying that they fumbled the ball and now we got to fix it, right? Because we don't want to damage what John Wick had built. And they want to make it better because they have to protect the franchise. So he's almost admitting that the Ballerina movie that they made that was going to be released this year, it's not good. They got to go back and retool it. It's usually not a good sign. Yes, every now and then you get a World War Z in there that they reshoot like half the film, and it's actually for the better. But for the most part, guys, history has shown us that if they got to reshoot a lot of the film because it's not good, I don't even know if it's like statistically, it's not a favorable kind of thing that you want to have happen. So Bad Boys 4 was originally slated for June 14th, and it will now move up 1 week till June 7th. Oh, guys, this is moving up a week for Bad Boys 4. Again, guys, March, April, May, June. 4 months, and we don't have even a teaser yet, not even a poster. Huh. Okay. Well, maybe they're trying to keep it a little close to the vest because of Will Smith, because then if they just come out like maybe like 2 months before it started to ramp up the marketing materials, Will Smith's back on the big screen with Bad Boys 4, people will be kind of like, oh, yeah, it's been a couple of years. I'll go watch him again. Okay, fine. And yeah, he served his time in the box, the penalty box. It's time to come off the bench, Will. Because he has it. He's got that star power. All right, next. Venom 3 is done filming, according to Juno Temple. Juno Temple says the wild, wonderful ride of filming Venom 3 has come to an end. Okay, well, I like Juno Temple. Venom series, I'm not exactly... They despirited me with the way that they handled Carnage. But we'll have to see. I don't even know what the third one's going to be. He'll just fight another symbiote. It's not going to have any impact to the MCU, obviously, because he went back to his own universe. So she said she described her work on Venom 3 as a wonderful ride. Adding the film is bound to please Venom fans. Quote, we're coming close to the end at the moment. It's been a wild, wonderful ride. It's so new to me. It's a big set. This is crazy. It's been so much fun, and I got to go work with such cool people. I've been so lucky in my career to have just the most incredible casts. I can't wait for it to get out into the world. I think it's going to be a good one. Well, she's hyped for it. And that doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily translate into a good experience at the theater for the rest of us. If you look at some of these comments, hell yeah. After 5 massive turds in the wind, this one is finally going to be good? Sure. What are the 5 turds? Venom 1, 2, Morbius, Madame Web, And I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Craven won't be any better. Yeah, yeah. I got no hopes for Craven. Venom is kind of like, surprisingly, the only shining light here to look at. But I'll give it a fair chance because I like Tom Hardy. He's one of my favorite actors. I do like Juno Temple. So when will the Venom 3? Well, it was supposed to come out this year still, wasn't it? Got no release date yet. Was on the sheets for this year, November 8th, 2024. So if it's done, that makes sense. Benedict Cumberbatch. Is he in this? I don't see him. He listed here in the IMDb. Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't even know what this one's going to be about. He'll just fight another symbiote or something like that. For some reason, they're not letting Venom face a Spider-Man, which I don't know why, because you're just printing money if you do. But James, Spider-Man 3 didn't do all that well. It still made a lot of money, guys. All right. Well, we'll keep our eyes open for a teaser or something for Venom 3 as it breaks. Roadhouse Reboot comes out this month as well, guys. Now, that's going to be on Amazon Prime, right? So I'm going to have to sign up for Prime this month. So we're going to be watching Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown, Adam Sandler's Spaceman, and Jake Gyllenhaal's Roadhouse this month, guys. All full live watch logs coming here to Mirror Domains. Come join us. We're going to have lots of fun. So Jake Gyllenhaal says Roadhouse action has never been done before. New images released. Has never been done before, huh? Well, looks pretty. Look at those. He's got the full 8-pack, right? That's something that I need to start doing in the gym is the ab workout. Because once I lose all of this stuff, guys, I don't want to be like the skinny, fat kind of person where it's kind of like, I got nothing here. I don't know. I don't need to be as ripped as that. But, a little bit of some abs may help. Some new images. Conor McGregor, guys, is the bad guy in this one. Total Film. So this is from the same magazine, Total Film, that we saw those Ghostbusters Frozen Empire images from. So fighting that you've never seen on before, huh? Director Doug Liman always does action in different ways. And he came to me and said, I want to do fights in a way that has never been done before. He became pretty much obsessed with how the punches would land and the kicks would land. He didn't want them to be performed in a way that we have the audiences in the past with that kind of fighting. Well, it's kind of hard to say that it's never been seen before, especially when you've had people out of Hong Kong like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Sammo Hung doing action, cutting their teeth, learning how to film the action, learning how to edit around the action. Like you hear Jackie Chan talking about where to cut things and how things should be framed. He knows the stuff inside and out. So it's quite the boast there from Doug Liman, isn't it? Never seen before? A little hyperbole, maybe. That's what I say. But I'm still looking forward to the Roadhouse remake. I just don't know if it's going to be as good as the first one or anything like that, but I'll give it a fair shake. One movie I am looking forward to, and it's been a long overdue, is The Accountant 2. We've heard, a couple of years ago that they were working on the script, and I really had a lot of fun with The Accountant. Fun is not the right word. It was a good experience. It was a good movie. And him and Andrew Kendrick actually worked very well together. Now, I don't know if Anna Kendrick will be in the second one because she was she was an accountant for a firm that he was hired to do a job for. And then, of course, the highlight for me was just those interaction scenes. The big fight at the end was fun, fine, okay, with John Bernthal, him and his brother, fine. So this is going to land at Amazon filming this year. So it's going to be for Amazon. Um, I'll see another one of this, and Ben Affleck was very good in it. So uh, good to see that Bernthal's going to be back. Can he? Can he be back though? John Bernthal to have a larger role in The Accountant 2 and has ideas for a potential third installment. The sequel will continue the following of the explosive events of the first film, which was released in 2016, guys. So we're 8 years away from the first one. But James, time doesn't matter. Look at Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I know. But usually for smaller films like dramatic films like this, it usually doesn't. The long gaps usually don't help it. But if it's a good movie, like the first one was, then I'll be on board for it. The Accountant 2. Yes. Yeah, this is the scene with Anna Kendrick. I don't know if she can be back. And you guys heard me praise about John Bernthal. Cinema Blend. There will not be a way back sequel, but we're doing an accountant sequel. We'll literally just close the deal. We're doing the accountant again. Okay, cool. Can't wait. Yeah, I hope so. I would love to, Affleck said, Ben Affleck. And said that when he was asked about when is the sequel happening, we've talked about kicking some ideas around. The last movie we just did, Torrance, we talked to the studio and they seemed interested. They seemed kind of like they brought it up. Yeah, so he's on board too. So cool. And if it's going to land this year, well, it's going to start filming this year, right? So probably 2025. The Accountant 2, guys, what do you think about that? I'll be on board for that. Next, Emily Blunt and The Rock. The Smashing Machine. Emily Blunt is reportedly in talks to co star with Dwayne Johnson in the Benny Safdie film. You know, the two times that I had signed up for Disney Plus, I never went and watched Jungle Cruise. And I am an Emily Blunt fan. I just thought it was CGI schlock by the way the trailers looked. Like they're not really on a boat on the river, they're just on a set kind of CGI. And you guys, you know how much I adore Emily Blunt. I almost feel ashamed that I've watched this. So what's this? He's Dwayne Johnson is shaking up his career after his passion projects Black Adam failed. Yeah, it did. It did. And if he's going to appear in Fast 10 Part 2 or whatever, Fast 11, which I hear the budget for that's going to get slashed. So get rid of all these superfluous characters that don't mean anything. Just make it about Dom and Jason Momoa. Yeah, we don't need The Rock in there. It's not about the stars. Anyway, let's go on and see what this is about. Dwayne and Benny are singular talents, and their shared vision for Mark's inspiring story is electrifying. We are deeply honored to have their trust as collaborators in bringing this incredibly special project to life. Okay. I want to be clear to say that this is an abandonment of a big four quadrant movies. I love making them, and there is tremendous value and importance in them, but there's a time and place for them. I'm at this point in my career where I want more, and I don't mean I want more box office, I mean I want more humanity. And that is why Benny Safdie is a perfect collaborative, hungry partner for me, The Rock said to Variety. Now, who the heck is Benny Safdie? Is that guy right there? Why does it look like he's started in a movie too? Is he an actor? Looks like I've seen him in a picture or something. Oh, yeah, we just saw him in Oppenheimer. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he was that guy. I need to watch Oppenheimer again. So he's going to be directing this? Is that he's writing it? Smashing Machine. Okay. You got a directing tab here? Let's take a look. So he's going to be directing it as well, pre-production. Well, and he directed Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems, which I did like, even though it's kind of like really dark subject matter. So he can handle it. Interesting. Interesting choice, huh, guys? This guy who was in Oppenheimer. So he's worked with talented directors. He's going to work with The Rock and Emily Blunt. Huh. And The Rock seems to want to chime into more serious stuff, right? Emily Blunt is currently being courted to join the UFC fighter movie. So it's about UFC fighters, huh? Is that what the synopsis says? Smashing Machine. The story of mixed martial arts and the UFC champion Mark Kerr. Okay, it's about Mark Kerr. Mark Kerr is writing it himself. I don't know if I like that. Hopefully, just to add in some inputs. We'll have to see. Yep. All right. Guys, let's go into some hit or miss headlines. If it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll move on. We got a bunch of them. Trust. Sophie Turner stars in Thriller from producers of the Saw franchise. Cool. With Carlson Young directing for Saw Company Twisted Pictures. Well, I do like Sophie Turner. She's somebody I think who has tremendous potential. What the heck is that? Piece of glue. Where did that come from? It just landed on my desk. Anyway, Sophie Turner, great actress. She just hasn't quite gotten the material because she took time off after Game of Thrones to start a family with two kids, very young. She's still in. Is she barely 25? How old is Sophie Turner? Sorry, I got to do a little stalking here. 28. God, she's gorgeous. Yeah. I would watch anything with Sophie Turner in it because she has the potential to be like an Annie Taylor Joy. Uh, just quite hasn't quite gotten the material yet to put under her belt to say, "Oh, this is what I can do," kind of thing, right? So hopefully, projects like this will give her some opportunities. Eli Roth is writing a horror movie with Borderlands cast member Ariana Greenblatt. Yes, we did a trailer reaction for Borderlands, and so Ariana Greenblatt's playing the one with the bunny ears there, and she played the younger Ahsoka that we just watched in the Ahsoka series, right? She was good in that. She's a good actress. So a horror movie. So Eli Roth, well, he started with um, that infection movie, Cabin Fever, right? Uh, okay. You guys know how I feel about Eli Roth. He's a little bit hit or miss. Green Inferno was kind of like, ugh. Next, Trap. Josh Hartnett describes the next M. Night Shyamalan movie as bizarre, dark, and wild. All right, Josh Hartnett is going to be working with M. Night. That's kind of interesting. I was one of the few that liked the Four Horsemen movie, Cabin in the Woods or whatever. What was it called? Knock at the Cabin? Yeah. So Trap, a psychological thriller set at a concert. At a Taylor Swift concert? Ooh, that would be awesome. But nah, just some concert. With Josh Hartnett in the leading role. And he was good in Oppenheimer. Really good. He's still got the chops. He does. And I'm one of the few that actually I liked him in Black Dahlia as that noir film. He was really good in that. He can act, guys. Yeah. He took time off again to raise a family, right? And now he's coming back into the fold, and I think he's going to be well received. Cool. Keep our eye open for that. Amber Alert. Amber Alert. Hayden Panettiere, Tyler James Williams to star in Thriller. Well, I do like Hayden Panettiere. I don't know who that guy is. Tyler James Williams. Amber Alert. So it has to do with somebody missing, maybe? Okay, it's being produced. Okay. got a synopsis for us? Well, okay, so it'll be an ordinary ride share becomes a high stakes game of cat and mouse. The story follows Jake, Hayden Panettiere, who is eager to get her first day at a new job, and her driver, Shane, who is just trying to earn a little extra at his side hustle. An alert of a child abduction on their phones will change all when they discover they are behind a car that matches the description of the kidnappers. Oh, okay. Unable to let the possible child trafficker escape, they begin the pursuit that will put their own lives at risk. Guys, you don't even put a picture of Hayden Panettiere there. You want to talk about beauty. Wow. Um, I don't mean to use that picture of her. Let's use the one there on the red carpet, James. Yeah. Why is it blurry? Damn. I hate Google Snapshot. It's a real. Ugh. There we go. Let's use the one of her smiling. Yeah. It's not that big. Anyway, I'll watch anything with Hayden Panettiere. Why not? I'll watch that movie. Next, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney are reading scripts together, looking for their next project. After Anyone But You, yes, Anyone But You did very well at the box office. It dropped out of the top 10 this week. Yeah, it's in the 11th spot. But overall, guys, 199 million. It's gonna finish with 200 million. For a small rom-com, people resonated to it. I never saw it. I don't think I can see it today. I don't think I can. But apparently the chemistry was well done. Is it playing today? It is still playing today. 3:50. Should I go see it? Sure, maybe. I was going to see Drive-Away Dolls, but maybe I need to see it at 6:30 for $5. For 5 shekels, 5 bones. And then go see Drive-Away Dolls tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. Is that it for hit or miss? So, yeah. Glenn Powell and her looking for a next project. If they had good chemistry, that's pretty much all that needs to be said about that. Glenn Powell's a huge. He's going to be huge, guys. Oh, J.K. Rowling. I'm so sick of this S after Sky News describes transgender killer as woman. This is not a woman. These are not our crimes. Yeah. The gender debate, guys, is one that's kind of like it's perilous territory because if you don't articulate things a certain way, then one side of the coin will be really upset with you. And if you don't cater a certain way, then the other side will be angry at you. So it's kind of like it's like I'm not a bigot myself. I'm very progressive. I let people do whatever they want to do. If you're going to get hung up over how to properly label someone, it's not worth my time. I'm not going to lose sleep. I would never ever lose sleep over it. Oh, did I actually call her a him or they a them or them a he or she? I'm sorry, guys. It's still a society where I see a picture like this. If I didn't know who this was, I would say that's a her. But it could be a guy. I'm sorry. And I will always. This is the side that I'm on. Is because it traditionally looks like a female, I'll call her a her. But if that person came out and said that they want to be called a they them, then I would call them a they them. But don't get mad at me for not knowing that beforehand. That's where I draw the line. Right? If we don't know, then I'm sorry. We're just conditioned for millennia with he's and she's. So that's where I land with that. Next. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, 2 posters reveal terrifying Tigger and Owl. Wait a minute. I thought They couldn't use Tigger because Tigger was a Disney creation. Disney was added to the books, wasn't he? The cat is out of the bag. So is that Tigger? I never saw the first one, guys. I knew it was schlock. Um, there he is, right there. Ooh, that's the owl. That's kind of creepy, huh? A little bit like the creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Eh, you know they come and kill a bunch of young people. Whatever. Oof. Variety, what are you doing to me? PlayStation to lay off 900 employees to, or 8% of its workforce so that it can post earnings for the end of this quarter to say, look at us guys, we're doing so well. Well, how are you doing well? Oh, we cut a bunch of our overhead from employee salary. And it's like, as an investor, I'm looking at a company doing that just to boost their numbers. Do I like it? I like it, the return in my dividends or in my returns, but as somebody who is part of a workforce, that sucks, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand why these big companies need to lay people off. Just a lot of it has to do with executives making sure that they can get to this earnings report number to earn a bonus. And the best way they can do that quickly is to do things like this, to lay off employees. It's just speculation from my part for this particular instance. But for the most part, that seems to be mostly the case for these types of things. And it just sucks. I don't like to see anybody laid off. It's moronic. All right, that's all I got in the can for today, guys. Let's go over to the Twitterverse, round things out, see if I missed anything. What's this? Past Oscar winners will introduce each acting nominee, replicating 2009 ceremony. Okay. Yeah, the Oscars are just around the corner, guys. Like 2 weeks away now. New clip from Immaculate starring Sydney Sweeney out March 22nd. Yeah, that's the where she's like a nun, right? And she's involved in some kind of horror. Netflix is expected to raise prices. Again, guys, you're like $24 already. Yeesh. First poster for I Saw the TV Glow. The trailer debuts tomorrow. I don't even know what the heck that is. I Saw the TV Glow. Two teenagers bond over their love of a supernatural TV show, but it is mysteriously canceled. Who's in it? Justice Smith, Bridget Lundy Payne. So a bunch of people that I don't really know. Danielle Deadweiler seems vaguely familiar. Fred Durst? What? From Limp Bizkit? Unbelievable. First trailer for Ashana Night Shyamalan's The Watchers. No, did that just debut? With Dakota Fanning and Georgina Campbell. Maybe we'll have to do a trailer reaction for that one, guys. Even though I don't think anybody will be wanting to watch it too much. But hey, I like that kind of stuff. That's what I want to do. Ambika Mod. That red really pops, doesn't it? I have no idea who you are, but I like the dress. Jennifer Lawrence at the Dior fashion show. Jennifer Lawrence, second favorite actress, maybe first favorite actress. Awesome person all around in my books. Yeah, I like the suit, is pantsuit, right? Is that what they call them? Stellar. She looks great in almost everything. Lisa Frankenstein is now available on digital. Don't waste your money, guys. It's not one of those movies where it's so bad you got to check it out. It's just bad. Hey, Poor Things is now available on digital. Okay. Lily Gladstone and Marshawn Lynch. Okay. She just won at the SAG, right? Vanna Rose Liu. More independent film stuff. I don't know anything about that. Whatever. Ooh, who's that? Sydney Sweeney in New York City. I like the leather jacket. That's nice. That's cool. Is it not cool? No? Poor Things has dethroned The Favorite as Yorgos Lanthimos' highest grossing film ever. Kirsten Dunst, Al Fanning, Sofia Coppola, and Kaylee Spaney. Now that is an epic photo right there. That's cool. We're going to see Kirsten Dunst in Civil War, right? And we just saw these two in Priscilla. And we're going to see her in Civil War as well, Kaylee Spaney. And we're going to see her in the Alien Romulus movie. And we're just going to see Dakota Johnson. Oh, not Dakota. Elle Fanning in that trailer that we just saw a clip for. Anyway. Is that it for today, guys? Is that all I see? Yeah. So we'll be back with more movie news tomorrow, guys. My work schedule this week is I'm only on Friday now this week. But then next week I'm Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 3 days in a row, guys, next week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, we're rolling with the punches. I went to the gym this morning, did all my laundry stuff. So for the next 2 days, except for tomorrow, I got to go down to the passport office. I'm all yours, guys. I'm all yours for the next 2 days, anyway, guys. Pay attention later on today for my straight out of the theater reaction for. Or no, I'm going to go see that tomorrow, aren't I? I don't know. We'll get stuff done anyway. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time right here on Mirror Domains.